everyone, Vanchpangu here. Finished up my Blitzkrieg German army, and I thought that now that they're all done, I'd show them to you. I'm going to do a little bit piece by piece, so I'm going to start off with the officers and a couple of the vehicles that I've done. Here we have an officer and his buddy. For game terms, I'm probably thinking or leaning towards putting them as veteran, first lieutenant. He'll have the, I guess he'll have the 3 Blitzkrieg options then, which maybe fits with the army a little bit better. They've got a Kubelwagen that I'm going to use for transport, no MMG or option for that. And beside them, these are some figures that I picked up at Warlord a while ago, about a year ago, maybe 8, 9 months ago. I'm going to use them as objective markers. I think they're kind of cool. We've got this sort of Gestapo agent, then I have this sort of like the French, I guess you know, French fascist sort of 5th columnist guys. Moving along as my my armored car option, I'm going to go with the Bike MMG. This is a Tamiya one. This has been in a couple videos that I've done before, but yeah, this is just a Tamiya kit with a head swap. As you can see, unfortunately the machine gun has a case of erectile dysfunction. For troops, I've got 2 trucks. These are both Tamiya trucks that I've done up, and they both have the MMG option on the front, covering the front arc. I have to say that I enjoyed putting this one together more. That one was a bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest. I kind of messed it up. But yeah, compared to the other models that are in my army that are made of Tamiya, or made by Tamiya, these ones they took quite a long time to put together. I'm not a big fan of the trucks per se. So we're going to get on to the troops and some other stuff in my army, so stay tuned. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to start off with a bit of an icon from the Blitzkrieg era. This is the Panzer II. This is a Tamiya kit. It's one of my armor options. I've opted for another one, which you'll see probably around a minute from now. But it's a pretty good little tank. It's got the coax and a front light anti-tank gun. It's pretty good for its points. You know, it's a threat, especially in an early war game. But the next option, which I'll show you, is the one I think I'm going to lean towards because it's a little bit beefier. Next to it, I have the MMG team, which you guys have already seen. I did a little painting how-to video with these guys. I did fix up a couple of the little smaller flaws that were on these guys just to make them fit a bit better. Next to them, I've got the Observer. I did do a couple airplanes for the Army that were 1/72nd scale, but I'm kind of thinking now that maybe as an artillery observer this guy might be a little bit more effective, especially with dealing out pins and then moving guys forward. The airplane, yeah, you know, it always has that chance of really backfiring huge, you know. Next to it, I've got the light howitzer. There's no spotter for this, but I found that in my army, because I don't have a mortar yet, that this was really good for some HE, especially if I'm up against, you know, someone who's playing, maybe they've got some Gormiers or more elite units, you know, in an early war game, that this would be pretty effective against them, or at least a bit of a threat that they'd be worried about. Then from the actual Blitzkrieg soldier box, I made the snipers. Nothing spectacular. I took 2 prone guys. I hate prone guys. I think pretty much everybody hates prone guys. And I said, yeah, okay, we'll just have a sniper. That's always good. I tried to give them a little pose, like they're you know, they're hiding in the bushes or something like that. Okay, so we'll get on to the next little round, and probably the last round of my army. And hey guys, this is the last little third of my Blitzkrieg army. This is the Pioneer unit, a small 6-man unit with 2 SMGs and the minesweeping equipment. I got these figures from a trade, so the Flammenwerfer guys were gone or used or something. I don't know. They just weren't there. So, yeah, but it's a small veteran unit. You know, hopefully it'll, you know, scooch in and get some objectives. You know, or when they get down to half strength, they can pile into that Kubelwagen. Next to them, I've got a regular infantry unit here, 10 men, with the LMG and an NCO with the SMG. Of course, they got Hitler's buzzsaw and the NCO training, and they got full strength too, which might come in pretty handy. I decided to keep it pretty base, you know, for an early Blitzkrieg, Poland, Denmark, France, Low Countries kind of thing. Next to it, I've got the Panzer 38T. I'm leaning towards using this rather than the Panzer II, even though the Panzer II is a little bit more iconic. Yeah, it's got basically the same equipment as the Panzer II, but it also has the hull-mounted MMG. So it gives you those extra shots that you might need in a big war, an early war game where there's a lot of big infantry units or cavalry units or something like that. And it gives you a little bit more versatility. Next to it again, just another regular infantry squad, 10 men. I think it weighs in at about 123 points total for this. It's got the casualty number 1, the extra prone guy there next to the ALMG. And then my final unit here, which is basically exactly the same, but with no prone guys. But we need loader, MMG, or LMG, pardon me, and the NCO and Hitler's buzzsaw and all that other great stuff. I know it's almost November 25th, but October 25th is sort of my cutoff date for hobbying. It's kind of a strange anniversary, but I kind of keep track of how much I've painted from October 25th, and I count that as 1 year. And there's a reason. It's because I got involved in painting again about 3 years ago. But this last year, I've got to say, has been a really, really productive year for me. I've painted 510 models done this year, so I did 443 figures. I painted about 20 tanks and vehicles, and I did 47 pieces of scenery. So I wasn't pretty slouchy, you know, I got in there and I did a lot of work. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The next video is coming up for me. I've got a few more bolt action-y things left to do in my stash, but it's probably going to be a lot more Napoleonics and possibly some Ancients and just some other bits and bobs. As you know, it's getting up to Christmas, and we got to start thinking about other people and spending our money on them instead of ourselves. So you guys take a good, take it easy, I guess. Have a good one. Almost mixed that metaphor, and we'll talk to you again real soon. You guys take care. Bye bye.